Alright, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what it takes to get promoted to each of the major promotion levels at a large company. If you're new to this channel, I was a senior managing director at one of the most prestigious Wall Street banks. It took me 18 years to reach the top, starting from an entry-level role. After several years in that role, I quit to start this YouTube channel with a goal of helping you get there faster than I did. Over the course of my career, not only did I personally climb the corporate ladder, but as a senior manager of the firm, I was also responsible for promoting other people. Each year, I presided over the promotions of many of my own staff, ranging from junior roles right through to executive levels. I also helped other people outside my department get promoted, either through sponsoring or by mentoring them. Moral of the story, I've had a lot of experience with this topic. Please note, different industries do use different namings for their titles. For example, in banking, Managing Director is the highest. In tech, it's Senior Vice President, and in consulting, it's a derivative of Partner. Even within the same industry, there are differences company to company. And even within the same company, there can be differences. So, to make this video broadly applicable, I'm going to not only use the titles that I'm familiar with in banking, that is, but I will also refer to them in general terms so you can map these roles to your company. Before watching this video, make sure that you've watched my other video on the top 5 things that you must do to get promoted. That video covers important general advice that applies to all promotion levels. I'll place a link to it down in the description below. With that said, let's go through each level. To get promoted from the most junior level analyst role to the next level up, say associate at a bank, it's really a factor of just doing what I talked about in detail in that prior video. You have to ensure you are doing a good job in your current role. You have to make sure that you've met HR's minimum requirements, like being in your current role for a certain amount of time. You have to ensure that those around you like working with you. And you have to make sure that you raise your desire to be promoted with your manager so he or she thinks of you top of mind. That's it. Junior promotions tend to be 100% up to your direct manager. In all my time managing people, I never overturned a manager who wanted to promote someone junior. Next, to get promoted from the second level to the third, which at the bank I was at is Vice President, there are 2 primary traits that you must demonstrate. Firstly, you need to be a subject matter expert in your field. Of course, you can ask your manager how you are doing, but I think a telltale sign is whether other people are turning to you to ask for your expertise. If they aren't, either you just don't know your field well enough and you need to spend more time in your role, or your ability to communicate your knowledge isn't good enough. I'm going to talk a lot about how to communicate effectively in a business setting in future videos, so make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on for that. The next trait that you need to demonstrate is that you have leadership qualities. The way you do this depends on your role. In some operational roles, you will demonstrate this through managing and training people. But in most roles at this level, you will demonstrate this by leading the execution of a large project. That's for your specific job family, by the way. No one expects a UX designer to be leading the legal work for a large project. You'll know it's a large enough project as it will likely take months to complete and has a handful of people from cross-department teams working on it. If you don't have staff or aren't running a project or body of work like that, then sorry, you likely aren't ready for promotion. The obvious question would be how to get a body of work that is big enough to be promoted from. If you have been receiving repeated positive feedback from your manager and you have not been awarded such a project, be patient, because there are times where your manager has no additional projects to give you. However, a project that will help you get promoted to this third level isn't generally that big for the company, so there should be lots of them, and you shouldn't have to wait that long. Try setting up some additional time with your manager a couple of months after you initially spoke and say something like, "We talked a while back about an increase in scope. I feel ready for more. Is there something else you'd like me to lead?" Alright, you've made it to the first senior role at your company, but now you want to get into the big leagues. Here's what you have to do to get to that 4th level executive director role at a bank or something similar like principal software engineer at a tech company. At this level, it starts to become highly competitive, much more so than at the junior levels. It's no longer good enough to show leadership of just one large project. You'll likely need to demonstrate that you can lead multiple projects or one very large one. For me, when I made it to this level, I led the product management of the first mobile app for my bank. This had around 5 other product managers working on it, as well as around 50 tech, legal, operations and risk staff. A good litmus test if the project you are leading is large enough is if you're sitting at a bar and meet a stranger, could you describe what you are leading and someone completely outside your industry understand? By the way, don't actually do this, as you could be giving away company proprietary information. It's just an exercise. If you aren't leading such a project or projects, you likely aren't ready for this promotion, and you should continue to ask and address feedback from your boss and other senior staff who you work with. To get to this role, you also want to demonstrate that you can manage people, as the role you're trying to get to will likely involve that. If you haven't had experience managing direct reports, raise your hand to your boss to mentor a new junior staff member or even a summer intern. It tends to be a lot easier to do this than to just request a hire of your own. Often, if you do a good job here, it will lead to that person becoming your first full-time hire. Now, as I said, this promotion level is exponentially harder than the prior roles. Your company will likely have targets on how many of these promotions will be given out across the firm. Due to the high salaries for people with these titles, these caps can be more strictly adhered to than for the more junior promotions. This means that your boss alone will likely not be able to get your promotion across the line. Your boss's boss will likely need to be involved, as he or she probably has to make a final determination as to which candidates from across the department will be getting these limited spots. This means you will need some exposure to your boss's boss. If you don't have regular exposure to them, I would suggest asking your boss if there is a piece of work you have that warrants a presentation. Please note, you don't want your boss to feel threatened by you. I talk about how to avoid this in my prior video, link below. And never try to push for a presentation to your boss's boss just to get exposure. This will backfire and be seen exactly for what it is, something self-serving. Do great work, have something significant to show, worthy of your boss's time, and then ask whether you can present it. Also, at this level, sponsors will become very important. These are senior people from other teams you work with who already have this title, who will need to vouch for you. Your boss's boss will likely call your sponsors to request feedback on your performance. That way he or she can decide whether you should get one of the limited promotion spots. I certainly did that. This amplifies how important it is for you to work well with others. If you have any friction with people you work with, you're likely out. So avoid conflict with other people. Lose battles to win wars. Alright, the big guns. The highest levels, managing director at a bank, VP or SVP at a tech company, and partner at a consulting firm. Getting these roles is beyond competitive. It's exponentially harder than any role you've gone for before. In the department that my group was a part of, there are around 4 managing director promotions each year from about 1,000 staff. That means 0.4% got promoted to this level. At this level, you will be expected to manage a significant number of people, and you need to demonstrate that you can do this successfully. That means no glaring issues such as a large number of high-performing staff resigning from your team. You will also need to manage a much larger scope of projects, including some of the largest projects in the whole company. If you aren't able to demonstrate this, raise it with your boss. Either you're just not ready for promotion and have things to work on, or you need to be patient. Opportunities like running a project worthy of this promotion are rare. In addition to the above, you will be expected to embody the company's values. I would suggest researching what your company's values are to ensure your behavior matches them. Now, at this level, there are so few promotions available that your boss's boss definitely will need to fight for you. This means you will need to have significant exposure to him or her so that person has in-depth knowledge of your career. This is much more than at prior levels. Once your direct boss is supportive of you being promoted to this level, I would suggest asking them if you could set up a regular one-on-one with their boss to form a closer working relationship. Lastly, at this level, it is critical that you are kind to yourself. There are several wildcard factors that could occur that may prevent your promotion. As I said, you need to run a body of work worthy of such promotion. Sometimes getting such a large body of work just becomes a factor of being in the right place at the right time. But if you have patience and keep at it, it will happen. Lastly, you may also find that your own sponsors backstab you. There are so few spots available, your sponsors may be putting up candidates of their own and feel if they give you positive feedback, it will hurt their own candidates' chances. This is wrong, but it does occur. So make sure your sponsors really have your back and don't have competing interests. Often at this promotion level, it just takes time. That's why I said, be kind to yourself. I've seen staff members go for these senior promotions and just fall into a real downward spiral. They set unrealistic goals of when they will get promoted, then they get stressed when they don't. They have sleepless nights, take it out on their partners at home, and at work are just more argumentative with people in the office, that is, hurting their chances. Relax, do the best job you can, and just continue to learn and improve. You'll get there. Let me know with a comment below what you thought of this video, and if there are specific topics that you'd like me to cover in more detail, or you just want to add something based on your own experience. And please, 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 please share this video on LinkedIn and with others you work with. I want to help as many people as I can. Well, that's all for today, folks. Make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on and smash that like button. Not only does it show your appreciation for the insane amount of work that goes into making these videos, but as I always say, it makes my mother very proud. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, and I will catch you later.